Da vidimo koliko će da traje ovo dok ne pukne live. Znači ako pukne live ovako 2 minuta, to je gotovo, to je kraj. Onda neću da snimam. Provjerit ću samo da nije slučajno, eto... kako se zove? Bitrate. Ako je bitrate u pitanju, mogu da ga smanjim još 1000 i kraj. Znači neću da mi bude ni premalo, ali ni previše. Znači, ozbiljno 15 megabita mi je max bitrate, a minimum je 9 trenutno. Tako da očudim da će da padne live. Your streaming quality is good. Ništa, vidjet ćemo. Sada će da padne stream opet. Neće. Neće da padne stream. Dobro. Čudo. Za neko nisam znali, pao je stream. Tako da samo se vraćamo na isto mjesto. Pao je stream i to mi se uopšte ne sviđa.
You know the way. You can drive.
You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working with Willie?
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the morphine. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
We caught up with Mao. He's given us the dope on LeBlanc.
He worked burglaries with a big guy. Goes by the name of Willie. He might be our killer. Can you work boxing gyms, the Y, promoters, that kind of stuff?
Since when have you started giving orders, Phelps? And where's the burglary angle? There was no sign of a...
That's where our net comes in. Next stop, we speak to Lacey about a list of recent burglaries.
The guy's a bum. His office is a front, and he's behind on the rent and his phone bill.
And he's skipping town. Tomorrow.
Let's get him in and beat it out of him.
Do you want to bring in the killer, Rusty?
You could be too smart for your own good, Phelps. We've been talking about that, haven't we, Roy? Stefan?
Finbar?
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the last year.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy for you. Here you go.
Thanks.
Is the cigarette case on there?
That bum took a swipe at me, so I put him down in my sap.
What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? That's cool. An eye posted there? Heated enough, yes.
Julia Randall's ring. It's here.
You know anything about this mess?
It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
Can you get me a closer?
Even the engagement ring was purloined. Arnett is a cad.
Anyone seen where Miss Wells went? Am I gonna get out of here tonight? Maybe. You gonna argue with something, or can I go back to sleep? I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that death.
drunk, I'll bet. Or doped up.
No.
And then the louse calls and says he's going to marry
So you and Rusty have been having discussions. Anything you would like to tell me, partner?
Phelps, don't be so touchy. Rusty had his best ever clearance rate working with you. Even if the cases he worked on can't be discussed. We were just comparing notes. You're a Booneroo case man, Phelps. One of the best I've ever seen.
Thanks.
Phelps!
Usine.
You gotta learn to take a compliment, Phelps.
A hopped-up model, a cat, and a circus freak. Only in L.A.
Fairy tales of the rich and famous.
More like pathetic tales of the desperate to be rich and famous. Junkie Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Arnett, LeBlanc, and Willie.
Don't you go putting the pieces together again before they fit, Phelps. Listen to your old pal Rusty. Or should I say Finbar.
I wouldn't call him that if I were you.
What do you care? It doesn't sound like you're the top of his Christmas card list.
He gives everyone a hard time. That's just how he is.
Whatever gets you through the day, Cole.
Nice house.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
I am Mrs. Eavestrom. How may I help you?
We appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man, if you are returning 43 pieces of my property?
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
Why are you lying about the value of your jewelry, Mrs. Eavestrom?
Who do you think you are, making heinous accusations in my own home?
We recovered the cigarette case from a pawnbroker. No one knows the real value of an item better than those guys.
I inflated its value for the insurance claim. There. Are you satisfied? My daughter's boyfriend was quite taken with the case. I think he was even more disappointed than I was when it was stolen.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
That terrible night, at least a year ago. But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
Were you in the house when the burglary took place?
Good heavens, no. I was at a social function held by a Dr. Harold Stoneman and his lovely wife. I returned home and all of my things were missing.
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eastrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You have only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives. What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, Mother and Father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out. We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously arranging the burglaries.
That's my fiance you're making scurrilous accusations about.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
What is sogging it, sister? You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough to see it. Come on, sister. Let's find out who your fiancé really is.
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry.
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30. You can take the lift.
Thank you.
Well, isn't this just nice and awkward?
Stop! LAPD!
Don't kill him, Cole. This guy's our case.
Go on,
Put
get
your
after
hands
him.
in the air! Give it up, LAPD! Don't make me chase you!
Looks like he got you good, Phelps. Yeah, he really packs a wallop.
How did I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. You came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was Arnett?
He's coming round, too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry? You told Heather you're honeymooning without her? Vacheron Constantine. That's an extremely expensive watch, Henry.
A graduation present from my parents.
Maybe if... No. Doesn't look like anything. Nope. Don't think this is anything.
What
Get his
now?
story. Let's see Henry talk his way out of this with Heather in the room.
Puškice gore.
We know all about the jewelry ring. You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
You're lying, Henry.
How can you prove that I'm involved, detective?
Because you pawned a Fabergé cigarette case today for $600. A case that is on a list of stolen items.
It was Julia's idea. Get a list of society parties and find out where and when, and then have the guests burgled. Julia was desperate for money. No matter how much we made, she always wanted more.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julia Randall?
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was going to marry Heather, and she'd have me. Julia told the others that they were out, that she was going to create a new gang.
You're lying, Arnett. I think you ordered them to kill her. It was made to look like suicide, and when the coroner saw through that, you knew it was time to run.
I told you I was involved in the burglaries. I had nothing to do with Julia's death. Why would I need to run?
Have you told Miss Swanson that you're leaving for Mexico City tomorrow night? That it's a one-way ticket?
Henry? Tell me it isn't true.
I had no choice. I wanted to marry Heather. I told Julia I wanted out, and she laughed in my face. I had to pay Willie and Jimmy a fortune to do her, and now I'm completely broke.
What you are, Buster, is under arrest.
Who is Henderson, and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things.
Your first burglary was a Dr. Harold Stoneman. You want to explain how he is involved, or shall I?
Henderson is Stoneman. He was crazy about Julia. She could get him to do whatever she wished. He threw the parties, and we arranged the burglaries. Julia never let him touch her. She just kept him hanging on the promise. Drove the good doctor almost insane.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, Roy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I?
Should have never told you that.
I hope you got some money saved up.
doctor to give us something to make this all better. Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett, and tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in.
I told you never to come.
Tell us the truth, Doctor.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
The practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key. What have I done?
Didn't see that coming.
God. Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way. We have an address for the runner.
Let's try and wrap this up then. That old boy really fell for that broad.
She was incredibly beautiful, boy.
Would you throw it all away for a woman?
Life has a way of making you pay for your pride.
You're quite the romantic, Phelps. Stick with the percentages. Broken hearts are for chumps.
You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this, the kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. We don't want him to bolt on us.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up.
We're all trying to get somewhere.
Hold it. He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings. There he is! Place the son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch really picked a spot for it up here, didn't he? Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Julia had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
Ovo mi se sviđa. Uhuhu, 4 zvezdice. Jebi ga. Dosta vehicle damage imamo. $2600 šteta. Malo odvije to malo, to je mnogo.
Is gone, Hank. The Major is dead. We're being overrun. We have to get off of this hill.
That's one of our 50 cals still firing, Cole. The 22nd are still fighting.
It's over, Cole. Looks like you're one of the lucky ones.
Say goodbye to your friend Hank, Jack.
He was your friend too, Cole. Is this how you're going to leave him? Are you wounded?
Not a scratch, Kelso.
Well, get up and get out of that fucking hole! Find a stretcher while you're at it so we can get him out of here.
Who's the senior officer here?
I guess that's you, Cole.
You were up here all night?
Yes, sir.
And your command?
Gone, sir.
Sorry to hear that, son. God damn it, we have beaten these bastards back. It's the beginning of the end, and it was one here. You're a goddamn hero, son. What's your name?
Lieutenant Phelps, sir.
I'm recommending you for the Silver Star and promoting you to first lieutenant.
Like.
Earl Phelps, a shooting at the 111 Club, 6232 Hollywood Boulevard.
Sounds like a homicide beef.
2 of the dead guys caught in the crossfire were carrying Army surplus morphine. Get over there before homicide tramples all over the place.
We already cleared that up.
Judge in Pasadena took the big sleep yesterday. He had a personal stash of 20 cigarettes. Appears we didn't get all of it.
Well, you can only dream.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
God damn it. Just can't seem to put this morphine to sleep. A dead judge. It's not good. Everyone has their vices. Even you, Phelps.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
You really think I'm gonna squeal? Yeah, what's that? You're going to release me now? That's right. It's been a year. What are you waiting for?
You got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
Where's the phone?
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be stupid.
Parker and Green are going toe-to-toe for the top job. There's a change in the wind.
About time.
This wind will be like a tornado, Phelps. Parker's got a puritanical...
Police entering in a citizen reports suspicious activity on a trolley car on Fountain Avenue. Stand by.
LAPD, ma'am. Are you all right?
That lowlife! That filthy lowlife!
What happened?
I was standing ready to get off and I heard a click. His camera. That pervert took a picture of my... up my...
Which way did he go?
There! That's him! Right there!
Ah, fuck.
Go on, Phelps. Get after that creeper.
Get in close and steer him off the tar. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out.
Hit him! Clear this asshole off the road. Give it up, LAPD!
You're under arrest for public indecency.
Oh, Christ.
You're behind the wheel.
Homicide guys are already inside. Bukowski. Phelps. Back again. We're here about the morphine. Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick, 26, former Marine. I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit. I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club. Who are the other Vics? Two musicians, Biddleston and Bo. And get this, they used to be in a four-piece, but the trombone player and the drummer OD'd. Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? We've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no-piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around? Be my guest. You might want a word with the hostess, too. I'll keep her company until you're ready. Must have pumped a dozen rounds into him. Certainly sends a message.
Never the same, are they?
Bad luck, Eddie. Okinawa couldn't kill you, but knowing the wrong people in this city.
Hey, I think I see a body.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
Well-maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
What's that click? Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet. You should follow up on the musician angle. He kept his stash close at hand.
news source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation? Army surplus again. McGoldrick must have been moving contraband through the club. These look brand new. Never fired. They haven't been degreased yet. We could check on the serial numbers.
Is this guy hunting for bear? Look at these things.
They're BARs. You get the odd guy who sneaks one of them home from the war. How did he get 3 of them? Ma'am, I'm Detective Phelps, Administrative Vice Squad.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
You want to level with me, miss, before we start taking an interest in you?
This place has been on the slide for years. Eddie turns up, buys the club, then we start getting visits from tough guys. Next thing you know, we have the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Are you getting the picture?
Tell us about Eddie.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
That's some suggestion you're making about a former United States Marine.
Marine or no, Eddie was in over his head. Sorry if I hurt your feelings.
Thank you for your help, ma'am.
Eddie was in over his head, but he was a decent boss.
Y'all seem to be standing around. Shouldn't you be working?
You catch all the good ones, Phelps. You'll have my report when it's ready. Right now, you want to be examining evidence.
I think that's all there is. You better excuse me, honey.
How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
Army surplus morphine, Army surplus weapons, Army surplus valors. Sound familiar?
We should get back to the station and check the details of what exactly was lifted from that ship.
Dozen packs to a carton, 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply. So what next?
Back to the station. We need to speak to someone on the robbery detail.
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be.
You can drive.
Through. I just want a quick look is all.
Ljudi, be right back. Ali sad neću da poziram, zato što ne poziram se. Ima nam je ovdje stream za džabe.
going on?
That fucking rat Stoker has gone public about Brenda.
Who is Brenda?
Brenda is LA's most famous madam.
And everyone knows it?
Of course everyone knows. Brenda pays her way.
Are we cops or a collection agency?
Whores have been around since the Bible. Our job is to keep it off the street so Joe Citizen and his wife can stroll around unmolested.
Then we should change the law.
Are you out of your mind? Every politician in America is against prostitution, except when they're using them.
So where does Stoker come in?
He objects to the LAPD and the administration taking its cut.
Is everyone in on this?
Yeah, and that's the problem. From a little acorn does a large tree grow. He could bring the whole thing crashing down on us.
Aren't you supposed to be working the...
Sir, do you know which robbery detectives are working the Army surplus theft from the Coolidge?
Caldwell and McManus. I saw Caldwell in the squad room not long ago if you want to speak to him.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that.
This way.
He ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on Temple.
The thing was, he was a real nice guy. I felt lousy collaring him.
Okay, girls, who stole my cigarette?
Harry, you got a minute?
Sure, Cole, anytime.
You've been working the docks robbery on the SS Coolidge?
Yeah, that's right.
So how do you see it?
Inside job. Either the guys working the wharves or some of the guys on the ship.
What else was taken apart from the morphine?
Case of BARs, case of Thompsons, crate of Valor smokes.
Homicide just recovered 3 BARs and a mountain of cigarettes at a shooting at the 111 Club.
No kidding. I better get over there.
Do you have a copy of the manifest?
Yeah. Here it is.
So, how do we connect the docks robbery to the mess at the 111 Club?
Guy gave his wife a tap. I'd say all's fair in love and war.
Parker or Green? I don't know who'd be worse.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Enough to arm 3 companies. This is the crate we recovered. Here's our backroom arsenal from the 111 Club.
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Half a million cigarettes loose on the streets of LA. Some of these guys are from my old unit. They must have finally shipped home. Kelso, Sheldon, McGoldrick.
McGoldrick was on the boat?
Sure, we checked him out.
McGoldrick bought the 111 Club, Harry. His brains are all over the bar.
Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen. They control the hop.
Thanks, Harry. Stay in touch on this.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with 1 round.
You trying to take me down? No.
I didn't come to California to be a secretary.
The thing was, he was a real nice guy. I felt lousy collaring him.
I think we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Were you there?
He ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on Temple.
You know the way. You can drive.
How well did you know the owner?
McGoldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
That's some cruel irony. You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life, getting mixed up in the wrong crowds.
The kid had just bought a nightclub. I'd say he got mixed up in the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
What is the special of today?
Take a break, boys.
We would like them to stay, Miss Lickman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4 musicians.
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't. What we care about is 2 tons of Army surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and Lamont.
And this is your idea of making inquiries, Untersturmführer?
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy! How about you get a drink while I see to this?
Will you sit down?
Why antagonize him, Elsa? You know what he's capable of.
Ask your questions, Head Officer. We have work to do.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
You can do this the easy way with me, or I can call my partner back over. I can assure you he's a lot less sensitive.
You think your threats frighten me?
Black man don't supply nothing. You think there's a black man in this town holding on to 2 tons of morphine? He'd be dead in a minute. White man supplies, black man buys.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The only way you're going to get rid of me is to give me an answer.
I knew Cornell. We worked together a few years ago. He loved the music, but the music didn't love him.
What does that mean?
It means that he just wasn't that good. He was a sad, lonely cat.
Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
And you're so full of courage, you have never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, Detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words, and very noble. But words are just words, Colfax.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day? You'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
Move in. Can't risk losing the trail. Too much slack. Gotta get closer. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
LAPD, we're looking for Mayor Cohen. I believe he has lunch here.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Which table?
Number 3, if you'll follow me.
He just refuses to accompany me to church.
Would you recommend the special, miss?
I'll bring you coffee.
Could I get another spoon?
LAPD. We have some questions
Hi,
regarding...
Mickey. How's it hanging?
Fine. Just fine, Roy. I see you brought Iga Beaver along. Hope he's not going to put the shakes on me again.
Cole Phelps, Mickey Cohen.
Good afternoon.
He has manners. Aren't you a little green for this kid?
Meet Johnny Stompanato, Cole. He has the biggest schlong in Hollywood and the smallest gun. Or maybe that's the other way around. I can never quite remember.
You're a funny guy, Roy. Haven't I always said what a funny guy Roy is? And how much fun it would be to get together with him sometime?
Poor Johnny. He's the dark, sensitive type. He's a serviceman too, Cole. Johnny was at Okinawa.
You were in the crotch?
6th Marines.
The lieutenant who won the Silver Star up on Sugarloaf. I've heard of you.
Something like that.
All right, have we finished flirting? You got something to discuss, Roy? Or are you going to stand around beating the meat while my lunch gets cold?
We have some questions.
Do I need my lawyer?
Your brother-in-law, Lenny Finkelstein, was selling stolen morphine. He had 1/3 of the shipment.
Old news, kid. I don't know anything about what Lenny was up to.
So I'm supposed to believe that you don't know what happened to the rest of the shipment?
Lenny, God rest his soul, was a moron. He was family, though, and I haven't made a beef about that, so count yourself lucky, kid. The H is a filthy habit, and I don't condone it. The simple solution would be to have all the dope fiends put down.
So you don't know where he got the morphine?
Kid, ask a question you might get an answer to.
We believe there's a link between a group of Marines and the morphine stolen from the SS Coolidge. One of those Marines was shot to death in a club last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
So you haven't heard anything about what happened at the 111 Club?
What can I say, kid? I'm shocked that in the land of opportunity, Uncle Sam's finest feel the need to resort to crime. It's a dangerous business. I can attest to that. I'd recommend they get out of the life. Quickly.
A few Negroes saying goodbye on the sidewalk will never make the papers, Mickey. But we had a judge in Pasadena say adios the other day. Prominent white people popping their clogs makes everyone nervous.
You know dope has never been my thing, Roy. It's always been for schmendricks like Jack D and Jimmy Utley. But I'll ask around and I'll get back to you. Hey, you boys want some lunch? How about a drink?
We'll take a rain check on that. Come on, Cole, we're leaving.
We have to cut that dope. It looks bad with people dying.
We have to get the rest of it. There's no way of watering down the stuff in those little packages. We have to put the squeeze on those guys and get the rest of it.
They don't seem the type to frighten that easy.
We'll see.
Detectives, KGPL's going crazy. Shots fired at 1384 North Bronson. Some guy with an automatic spraying a Hollywood bus. They want every car. Go!
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence. Mouthpiece got stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Poor guy. Must be going crazy.
All units, officers need help at 1384 North Bronson. 1384 North Bronson, shots fired. Any units to handle identify. Code 3. All units, further on the shooting at 1384 North Bronson. 116 Adam reports the suspect is on the roof of the J.W. Robinson building. All units approach with caution. Units 49 William, 15 Adam, go to 1370 Gordon Street. Establish a perimeter and stand by for further. Any other units to respond. Code 3, identify. Unit 19 Adam, meet the officer at 5920 Fountain Avenue.
Find a way up there and stop that son of a bitch, Cole.
Ne. Vem ti mater. Ma dai, cioè. Tu. Zbagał igrica do kraja. Valjda neće da zbaga opet.